Good morning, everyone. Dear or beloved, my compatriots, my supporters and sponsors. Today is 2019, December 20th, Friday, 1 o'clock p.m. San Francisco time. And welcome all. This is Xah Talk Show. And good morning, Emily, Nabi, the Magpie, and Pablo. Pablo from Spain. Spain and United Kingdom and Nicaragua and California. So we don't have a topic today. What we gonna do? Well, I do have. Let's begin. Shall we begin with Emacs Lisp because I have something I want to command. I want to modify, and you guys chat. Okay, type in the chat. Keep flood the chat, spam the chat with your opinions and commentaries. Okay. How are you? How have you been doing, Emily? And Edraco, good morning. Am I? Good morning. Emma is from. Emma is from. Oh my God. Emma is from where? From type in the chat. Yes, indeed. Emma is uh from Egypt. Am I correct, or did I got it wrong? So Emily is still ill, a little bit ill, a little bit. She has to get needles in her skin. Needles, modern medicine. A needle poke into your skin and draw blood. That is what it is. So okay, so actually I'm getting hot. So flash. So Amai is from Tunisia, North Africa. Oh, okay. North Africa, Tunisia. I don't even know where that is, but North Africa. Okay. So, so I think we're gonna do some Emac Lisp. Okay. So you guys comments and we're gonna do stuff. I had to wake up early for blood test. That's right. So okay. So we're gonna do it. Okay, just in a minute. Give me a minute. Okay, I need to prepare. And this video is a problem. This OBS software, by the way, it's Linux compatible. You have this OBS software. So if you are planning to do a stream, you see how easy it is. I'm doing my stream, how smooth it is. Then you think you might do a stream. The OBS software might be the one you want to try, which is what I'm using right now. Okay, so it's pretty easy. Okay, so let's begin with Emac Lisp. Okay, so Xah Talk Show, and go to Xah, today's topic. You go there and open, and so Emac Lisp modify Xah HTML, convert PNG to JPEG. So let me show you what that is. So we go to Xah keyboard blocks. Okay, so you see these wonderful colors. What is this? Oh, and what is this? Oh, those are ions. By the way, so there are quite a few interesting things here. Okay, so this is, I'm getting something from Amazon that people bought. This is mono modular patch cables. Now, is this cable used for the keyboard ergodox? Is it? Nabi? Is this? Does ergodox use, ergodox keyboard? You have two parts, and you need a cable that connects them. And is this the cable? So can you tell me, Nabi, or any one of you? And today I discovered this thing. Okay, this thing is called heat press. This heat press. This is just iron. Steam iron, but sort of modern technology. So you see, with steam iron, you have issues, I suppose, because you need to put water into it. then it steams. It becomes hot and it burns a steam. And the temperature distribution is not even. But apparently, according to this marketing blurb of this device, so you have this device where you have you guys seen this? Have you guys seen this? So you have this device where you see they show the typical iron, the temperature is uneven, whereas this thing it's even. So I suppose it's a modern technology or something. I have not seen a steam iron for like 20 years. what what's on your IKEA Billy bookshelf? I'm not sure that is IKEA Billy, but it's just not much. Like I got 20 books or something. Yeah, I showed a few times. I can show you my books, but well, I'm kind of lazy to. It's not, because you guys have not seen it, but you see this bookshelf every day, so you are curious. But I have some books, math books mostly, okay, like 20 math books. In fact, let me show you math books. Okay, so go to Xah Lee math books. Reach information on Xah Lee information website. So you see free math textbooks. I talked about this before a few times. Uh, okay, so you have. Let me show you my books. Okay, some books, and most of these books I had them for 20 years or so. So some of the math books. That's a picture of my math books. Okay, so I'm not sure. Should I talk about math? I could talk about this for 1 hour. So anyway, you have a lot of math history of mathematics, how it is developed, how it evolved, when how it becomes so many branches. What are they? What they do? What they study? Math is interesting in a sense is that it's abstract and opaque. For example, if you have not studied math, you would never know what it's about, as opposed to physics or cosmology or astrology. I mean astronomy. Astronomy, for example, everyone know what it's about. You look at the sky, you see the moon, you see the stars. That's astronomy. Astronomy. You study what they are. How far are they? What are they made of? Why it's there? That's astronomy. Physics. Physics, for instance, you drop a ball, it falls down, and physics study that. Then today you have quantum physics, you have atomic physics, you have particle physics. You study, you break down this ball, you chop it into pieces, into billions of pieces. You discover the internal structures, atoms, and protons and neutrons and particles, and then you have molecules and atoms, then quarks, top, beauty, submissive, dominant. You got into BDSM. That is the name of the game. Okay, atomic quantum mechanics, physics. So even if you have never studied physics, you kind of get some idea. Okay, what is atom? Well, atom is a thing. You break it down. You have tiny things that make up materials. That's physics. You can explain to your children. But however, when it comes to mathematics, you know nothing. Okay, you don't know nothing. Well, if you are a programmer, you might know. Oh, there's calculus, trigonometry about calculus about how you calculate areas and stuff. But that's elementary mathematics. So the question is, you want to, for example, the way to phrase it is that what does mathematician study? I mean the graduate math. What are these? For example, let me just show you. Okay, so you got history of math books, graph theory, which is discrete mathematics, which is fringe mathematics considered by mathematicians. It's fringe. You programmers love it, okay, but it's fringe. That's not what mathematicians do. Uh, then you see, real projective plane, geometric constructions. That is a deep topic, man. Okay, geometric constructions, the real projective plane, then conics and cubics. Those are algebraic geometry. Okay, and that's elementary geometry of differential curves, elementary geometry of algebraic curves. Okay, math. Well, I did a talk about mathematics, like two videos actually. So if you are interested in math, look back. Okay, so I give you a overview of what are the branches of math and so on, and then you have regular polytopes. Okay, then you have plane algebraic curves, and some of these are ancient old books. For example, those books bounded like that, those are very old. Those are like 200 years old or something. I mean, 40 years old, something like that. So this, what is this? I cannot even read it. Synthetic something geometry, and this is geometry of plane curves. Okay, okay. Um, anyway, that's math books. Okay. So the question is, what do mathematicians study? Topology and algebra, abstract algebra, and um, yeah. But if you have not looked into, you don't know what they mean. What you don't know, you have no idea what they mean. So that's math. That's which is a bit different from physics and chemistry and biology and those things. You can have some idea what are they talking about. Biology is about, for example, your body, your cells. So Ammon says, so actually, I'm kind of started to ramble on this without goal. So maybe I should go back to Emacs Lisp, because I was going to. So this, you have more math books. Abstract analysis. Okay, this one, abstract analysis. Now that's a beginning lesson of analysis. So Ammon says Galois, Poincare. Yes, those are great mathematicians. So let's check the comments. Tasnia is a country south of France, Italy, north of Mali, Chad. Okay. What's on your bookshelf? Yeah, those are these books and some others, and Pong. Okay. I have Pong DVDs, like 10 of them from like 20 years ago. And math. Okay, Evan says math. Emily says I put some washing in the washing machine and come back to BDSM. That is what quantum mechanics they named their stuff of. Let's quarks. Okay, let's see the origin of BDSM. Quarks. The in physics and math, well, physics and mathematics, both of them, they name. You have to come up with a name to name of the things. So fuck Wikipedia. Do not ever donate to Wikipedia. Okay, I did a video a few days ago about that. Don't donate to Wikipedia. Let it die. Then we will have richer and more information overnight. Okay. Because right now you donate to Wikipedia, the money just go to the Jimbo Whale's pocket. He is a millionaire. It just go to his pocket. Each time he does a talk, he get uh, six figures. So that's like 10,000 or something, or 100,000 each time he give a talk, like 1 hour talk. These are scums. And he, by the way, this is just my opinion, okay? In case he sue me, this is my opinion only. So, and all the people we who wrote Wikipedia, we get nothing. Wikipedia is basically a massive infringement of copyright. Copyright is a question. Is kind of a questionable concept. Because information. Once, for example, I write my tutorials. I spend years study JavaScript and write it out. Then someone else on the web, they can once they see the answer, JavaScript in depth, the esoteric details, how array or object works, they can, once they read it, they can, once I have it written, people read it, they can just copy it and rephrase it. That is Wikipedia. Okay, they just rephrase everything, and technically they are not violating copyright, because because information cannot be copyrighted by these nerds, these open source fanatics, these they say, oh, information cannot be copyrighted. You can copyright. Nuts have idiotic ideas. So these hackers, I despise them. UNIX philosophy and all that. So but basically, what they do is like when something is favorable to them, to their opinion, to their livelihood, whatever, they say one thing, and if it's not, they say something else. And then there's a massive pirating website, videos of movies. Then there's also parroting of journals, books. Then then it gets more complex, because some of these corporations, they are really evil. But basically, each person, you just do whatever that's favorable to you. So so what I'm so these open source fanatics, they think of themselves are the good guys. They think of themselves are the fighters of freedom or something. No, they are just for themselves. Okay. So anyway, that's about. So we were talking about copying stuff, information. Um, so technically, they are not violating copyright, but the way they just copy things, copy. So anyway, and then you get a bunch of people who hog Wikipedia all day. They are the admins of Wikipedia, nameless, okay, irresponsible, nameless fucks. They have nothing to do every day. They just live. Every time there's a change, they pick up. They like these things happen on Stack Overflow as well. Basically on Reddit, on many of these sites, it's a phenomenon of modern, the modern corporatism of creating websites, such as Facebook and Twitter. You create this bunch of people. Everyone is anonymous. They never want to disclose their names. In their excuse is, their excuse is privacy. Like privacy. Fuck. So anyway, you create these people like on Reddit, okay? You create all these anonymous people who just go there, talk random or something. Then next day they delete their account. They do whatever they want. Irresponsibility. And meanwhile, meanwhile they say, because the privacy, okay, because you must respect privacy. And on the other hand, then they say, because what? Um, uh, Anyway, that's a lot of things, a lot of information. So anyway, so we were looking at the quarks. Okay, so quarks, which is elementary particles. So let's look at composition. So proton. Let's look at proton. They have a naming. Okay, the naming of the quarks. Uh, Proton. Let's see. I don't want to go to proton. So by the way, I don't know physics, and you don't know physics likely. Okay, and to know something is to really know it, not just you think you know. Okay, so physics. So you have these quarks. So you can see how they are named. You have up, down, charm. This one is charm, and this one is top. This one is bottom. This one is strange. you know so, and in the BDSM community, you have top and bottom. Top means dominant, the dominatrix, okay, the dominant guys, the who are into sadism, and bottom is the submissive slave, okay, who are into sadism. That like the Eurythmics song. What is the song? Anyone? So guys, name the song. Eurythmics song. I crossed the seven seas and watched all the people. Somebody wants to abuse you. Somebody wants to be abused, and someone wants to use you. Someone wants to be used. That is a lampoon or characteristics of it's actually real life. That is a situation. Someone wants, you have people who wants to lead. You have people who wants to follow. You have also people. So that's people, and that can be likened to or analogous to games. You guys who play Nabi, you guys who play fantasy games or massive multiplayer online fantasy or online adventure games. So in the sweet dreams, thank you Emily and Nabi. Sweet dreams are made of these. So in these fantasy games, you have all sort of creatures and races. Okay, you have warriors, which is warriors with a giant hammer, or some beautiful elf with their arrows. Beautiful guys. Then you have the dwarf, which is, well, some people are like that. They are short and sturdy, and that the dwarf race they identify with because that's them. Then you have magicians. Then you have sorcerers. Then you have beautiful goddesses. Women often would like that. Yeah, so that you pick someone you identify with, and dragons and so on. So anyway, so the standard model of elementary particles. So you have top and bottom. You have charm. This one is charm. Oh God, so attractive. Charm and strange. Okay, this one is strange, man. Strange. And this one is uppity. Uppity, down. Up and down. He's up and you are down. Down and dark. And then you have boson, and you have then you have God particles. The white people's fascinating obsession. God particles. You are playing God's game. You're gonna fuck up, and we're gonna extinction. Human animals go extinct. God particles. God this, God that. Okay, so that's about quantum mechanics, that which I don't know much. Sucker Punch themed song. What is Sucker Punch theme song? Oh, Sucker Punch is a movie, and it bombed. I think. I mean, it didn't sell so well or something. Sucker Punch. I have not seen it. Charef Ballet, Mr. Yemen. Um, so what are we doing today? So I guess today is just random. Too many abstractions to watch and interact, but I'm watching it start to finish once I get time. What? So Aman says, how come you did some math in the past? Did you study in a math degree or just general interest? Well, I talked about my history a little bit before. Well, basically, I am a wanderer. That is my nature. That is my personality. I tend not to finish. Okay, nice guys always don't finish. Okay, nice guys always just begin things, and so I wonder about. I don't have a degree. I studied um, 2 years in community college. Well, my beginning interest in math is because recreational in mathematics. I actually yesterday or the day before we did a video on mathematics. On part of it is mathematics on combinatorics, which is another recreational mathematics or considered fringe by the mainstream mathematicians. Combinatorics Okay, and yesterday on the video we showed several combinatorial unsolved combinatorial problems, and many elementary problems in combinatorics is about counting. That, for example, how many ways to have something, how many ways, which is called enumeration. Okay, that's elementary combinatorics problems. For example, what is this? A example of change ringing with 6 bells, one of the earliest non-trivial results in graph theory. Okay, I don't know what that is. Change ringing. Change ringing is, oh fuck Wikipedia. Change ringing is the art of ringing a set of tuned bells in a tightly controlled manner to produce precise variations in their successive striking sequences, known as changes. Okay, I guess in the old times, like 200 years ago, we have giant church and cathedrals. Then you have these giant bells, and you have to like choose which sequence to strike them, something like that. Change ringing. Okay, so these are examples of combinatorial stuff, combinatorics. Can you subscribe? Can you subscribe to what? How many years have I studied in university? I studied 2 years in community college, okay, which is equivalent to the first 2 years of university. But I never graduated or got any degree. Everything I learned on my own. So watch yesterday's video, okay? So because we talked about that. So what is the next topic? Should we go back to Emacs? Because I was planning to, so we are doing random talk and Hamiltonian cycles. Very interesting. Hamiltonians, Hamilton, Hamiltonian cycles. Okay, and Hamiltonian cycles. Hamiltonian is named after the guy Hamilton. Hamilton. What's his name? Hamilton, a Scottish guy, and he is most famous for Quaternions. He created Quaternions. By the way, Quaternions is another thing that hangs in the mouth of programmers who do not know nothing about mathematics. But however, when it comes to math, they know Quaternions. They hang it around their mouth all day, every day. Quaternions. Anyway, so Quaternions is invented by this Scottish guy, William Rowan Hamilton, who, okay, he looks like that. Doesn't look very attractive. Sir William Rowan Hamilton. And the law of math, one of the law of math is that one day he was walking on the bridge in somewhere in Scotland, or what bridge? Okay, guys, what bridge? We need to get interaction going. What bridge? You guys know? So one day he's walking on this bridge, and the idea come to him that, oh, we can just do this, and we got quaternions. And supposedly he carved that on the bridge, but however, nobody can find it. So it's a law. It's not verified. But later on, because this myth it becomes so popular, the UK government or whatever, the city government or whatever, they carved a plaque onto the bridge that says, that says Sir William Hamilton uh, thought of quaternions while walking on this bridge. So let's search for. So you guys know, BRIDGE. Okay, so we want to search for bridge. Let's see, bridge. There it is. Broom bridge. Quaternion plague or Quaternion plague on the broom bridge. Plague or plague? How you guys pronounce it? Plague. Which means a plate, basically a metal plate. So this is broom bridge. Where is it located? is a bridge along Broombridge Road which crosses the Royal Canal in Cabra, Dublin, Ireland. Oh, it's not even in UK, it's in Ireland. Okay, in Ireland. Irish, not Scottish, Irish. Okay, excuse me. I don't know nothing. So he carved this thing on this bridge. Oh, I forgot. I missed the comments. Damn. I missed the comments. Oh, we got Arabics coming in. So this broom bridge. Okay, so let's look at the flag. Here Usby walked by on the 10th of October 1843. Sir William Rowan Hamilton, in a flash of genius, discovered what? The something model or something immortal, something formula for quaternion multiplication. Okay, then there is a formula quaternion multiplication. Okay, so what do you guys know? What is quaternion? I can give you a account, and when I give a account of mathematics, you will get the gist of it. Okay, as opposed to other sources. Okay, quaternion. In order to understand quaternion, you have to understand complex numbers, the complex number system. And okay, so I have to explain that. Should I give you the the gist? Why is quaternion important? Why they put this flag? Why is this discovery important in quotes? Okay, it's not. Well, it's important, but it's not one of the most important things in math. So okay, so today we talk about math, I guess. Okay, so since people are responding, fractal always seems fascinating to me. Yeah, fractals. And fractals, when you do fractals, it's all about complex numbers, because that's the home of fractals. Um, well, depends on what you mean by fractals. Now, Now, in programmer's mind, I'm talking about the general programmers. So excuse me for flaming the programmers because the hacker types. Uh, so in programmer's mind, fractal is one of the most popular thing in programmer's mind when it comes to math. Because why? Well, because it's easy to understand. So basically, when it comes to mathematics, the typical programmers, what they think about math, what they are thinking, all the things they are talking about is basically the most trivial mathematics. Fractal, for example, fractals. Oh, fractals, fractals. Every programmer is talking about fractals. Fractals, graph theory, and combinatorics, and discrete mathematics, and maybe quaternions. Not most programmers don't really understand quaternions, but it's a jargon they heard of. It's for rotations. Everyone says that. Or it's when you do computer graphics, you need quaternions. Okay, so why am I? Let's not be too mean. So why am I talking about that? Why am I keep flaming the programmers? Yeah, because well, the reason is because I don't I like knowledge. Okay, I don't like so here's the reason why I always keep flaming the programmers. Call them idiots or the UNIX philosophy. Because I like I don't want fad. Okay, I like math and I like knowledge. I respect you. I respect those people who spend tremendous of time to study something. Okay, so I respect learning. But on the other hand, I do not like fashion, jargons. This kind of buzzwords. These are these are not learning, but they pretend to be. And that's what I despise. I hate. I despise them truly greatly. So when it comes to these math jargons mentioned by programmers often. For example, programmers will say, "Oh, Git. What is Git? Git is a directed graph." My ass. Okay, and programmers will say, they buzzwords jargon. They'll say, "Oh, Lisp syntax. The Lisp programming syntax is iconomorphic, okay, something icono what, guys? What is the word icono something? Okay, I don't remember exactly, but that's crap. Okay, because when programmers mention these words to them, they are like, oh, they like it's like, oh, by the way, like, oh, this, okay, like icono what is the word icono? Okay, I gotta search my own website. uh I can't know. Okay, so this just search for icono. Icono. Actually, I can remember if I think about it. The So, oh, guys, you guys paste it. Okay, paste the word. Iconoclast. Nappy. Nappy. No, not iconoclast. Yeah, I know. No. So Lisp, okay, is fundamental problems of Lisp. Okay, so I got a bunch of articles on Lisp, fundamental problems of Lisp, and we want to go to, let's see. Okay, it's fundamental problems of Lisp. So source transformation. Oh, that not icono. God, I got it wrong. Homoiconicity, guys. Homoiconicity. What the idiocy. Anyways, my point is that when programmers mention math jargons, it's somehow, once you have a jargon, somehow it's like validating. It's like validating. It's like it showcases that math. But in reality, many so-called math jargons used by programmers, it's nothing. It's meaningless. Okay, it's like entirely ulterior. Okay, it's unnecessary and actually meaningless. It's idiotic when programmers use math jargons, such as saying that Git is a directed graph. It's idiocy. Okay, and programmers Lispers say, oh, Lisp language, the syntax has the properties of homoiconicity. It's pure, complete idiocy. Why they? Because once you have studied math, let's just say undergraduate, you studied analysis in algebra, abstract algebra, it does. It doesn't. You are using jargons. Is like you are like 3 years old, and chalking up jargons, borrowing jargons to say something. If you have studied math, undergraduate. So and so programmers, yeah. So I'm talking about why am I so attacking flaming programmers all the time? Because I really love knowledge and study. Respect knowledge. You have to spend time to learn. I want to reward those people who really have spent so much time into something. Then I want them to be popular, famous, for or whatever, because they have given time to it. They have done the work. But I don't like this fashion crap like the Haskell people. They with their category fuck. The Haskell people. They are driveling about monad category every day, and Lispers about homoiconicity every day. The fans, these are fans, phonetics or code. They are the phenomenon of a code. So and then the other programmers, the other community. How shall we say? There's you have lots of jargons in programming, buzzwords. Like object oriented oriented programming or patterns programming patterns. Then you have the agile, which is from corporate world. They have so many jargons, stand up meetings and so on. And unit testing. Oh God, so I don't like them. I despise them. I hate them so much. I don't want to. I want to demolish. Okay, I want to destruct. I want to destroy. I want to be a destructive force against them. These buzzwords, jargons, these people who have not spent the time into something, but they want to talk, they want to pretend, oh, they know stuff, And also, this come to the 4chan type of people, nerds on Reddit, on Hacker News. You throw out jargons, you pretend you know so much. I know this because this should be that should be that way. So I don't like them. That's why I despise them. That's why I attack them all the time. This Unix philosophy thing. These hackers, so-called hackers. It's in some way you could say I'm a bit nutcase or extreme. Because it doesn't warrant that much flaming against them. They are just a subculture. Hackers. Programmers. Some programmers, nerdy types, they have certain preferences, and they think they develop a community. They have certain jargons they like. Yeah, in some sense it's true, but on the other hand, they are just a cult. They are uh, they you see, the harmful thing is about that is that, yeah, it's no big deal, but not really. It does have significant impact on industry, on the whole thing, because they are uh, when it becomes extreme, they are crackpots. They are creating false information. They are spreading false information, such as, let me give you example, such as the Unix. How Unix is secure, or they hate Microsoft, right? You guys hate Microsoft. How Unix is secure? How Linux is the best operating system, and then you have open source, phonetics. That's a different thing. Then you have the license phonetics, GPL or no GPL. It's a big controversy. So back to the technical part of programming. Programming. You have lots of jargons like KISS, keep it simple, stupid, dry. Try not to repeat yourself. They want information in one place. Dry. They have these jargons. Keep it simple, dry. KISS. Keep it simple. And Unix philosophy. Small is beautiful. And then you have OOP. Then you have patterns. Okay, factory patterns. Okay, in this case you need factory pattern. In that case you need some other patterns. They have lots of jargons. Then you have the agile people saying you should always have unit testing. You should have so this kind of thing, in my opinion. So let me give you an example. This kind of thing, they are most of the time baseless. Okay, they are not factual. They are not great, solid information. They are like false, like lies. Okay, so what's wrong with lies? Well, they damage society. They create false information. What should be good becomes bad. What becomes bad becomes good. Bad people get rewarded. Good people don't get rewarded. That's what happens. Okay, so that is why I don't like this anything that's like code, like with buzzwords, jargons, and this kind of thing. They do damage to society. So actually, that turns out to be a big rant. I just rambled to myself, a monologue, Xah rant monologue for like 20 minutes or 10 minutes. Uh, and I did that often. I did that a lot in my stream, but I haven't done that for the past month, I think. So I don't know where are we going. So Mr. Yemen, hey, good morning, Alan. So, Mr. Yemen, so you guys are chatting Arabic. I don't understand. Are you chatting or is it something questionable? Okay, I don't know because that happens sometimes. So, anyway, so let's look at the comments. Okay, so what do you guys say? Some person says a lot of programmers are just people who memorize syntax and create more bloated, buggy software. Yeah, that's true. Uh, so some person says, I think you need to ban Mr. Yemen. He's repeating already sent messages. Okay, Mr. Yemen, stop that. Okay, so actually, Nabi says quantum voodoo. I'm still waiting for these magical computers. Quantum. It's coming. It's real. It's coming. They have quantum computers. You know, uh, it's real, and it's gonna be. It's a big thing. It's really. It's very significant. Okay, I think it's very significant. The quantum computing, and uh, and Google is kind of a leader in at least in USA. Google, it's pretty significant quantum computing. So I don't understand though. I don't understand quantum computing. There are quite a lot of tutorials you guys can go read about quantum computing. I don't understand it. What's my thoughts on Erlang? I think it's great. Erlang is one of the earliest functional programming language. I'm talking about. I mean, today you have people, younger generation. They talk about functional programming. Oh, you should or should not. Erlang. When I was, 20 years ago, 1999. I'm interested in functional programming. That is when Erlang is around. Erlang is the functional programming language, and a practical one used by Ericsson, and a successful. I mean, actually it's a big one, and it's not. By the way, it's not open source back then. They released it, to become open source. When the open source became popular. But back then it was not open source, so it's one of the early successful um, and practical functional programming language as opposed to Haskell, Clean, Miranda, and several others. Among Lisp, okay, Lisp is also a successful one. So Erlang is one of the early one. And then so I learned, I heard, I read FAQs, back then. So it's about, it has this unique kind of property or context where it has this, we can capture it in a slogan where you run it, you you know system can die anytime. You can have a bunch of them, thousands of them, processes running. A hot swappable. That's a jargon, okay? So a system that runs Erlang is hot swappable. You can just, the processes are expected to die randomly. It doesn't matter to the whole system. You can just randomly kill, like you kill moles, okay? You have a hammer, then you have a bunch of moles coming up. You just kill them, and the system keeps running, no problem. So it's suitable. It's running for the phone networking systems or something like that. I don't really understand the tech details. So that's what I heard. That's my impression of Erlang. And then this is back in 1991. Time goes on, exponential growth, sciences, math or exponential growth. So after 20 years today, each of us becomes nothing. We don't know nothing because the exponential growth, that's what it means. And then Erlang is now open source, and it's interesting. It didn't happen so that Erlang becomes the very popular dominant functional programming. That didn't happen, as you know. as we know. So today you have Haskell is kind of a niche. Then you have Clojure is kind of niche. This family Clojure. Then you have lots of others. You have new versions of Haskell. You have then JavaScript. Then you have OCaml. So each one occupying a niche, kind of, and I never learned Erlang myself. Um, but there's one interesting thing about Erlang that I want to. There's one interesting thing about Erlang that I want to understand is that. By the way, what is the Yemen guy say? What does he say? Have any one of you translated? One thing interesting about Erlang is that I want to understand it from the property of Erlang, where you can have so many processes. You don't care if it dies, something like that. How do you explain that from a? I mean, okay, so Erlang has this property, hard swappable, but I want to find the context in certain, let's say, math. Okay, well, that math is probably not the right word, but I want to find the context where this property fit in. So we can say, okay, so in this context, we have, like, you have, okay, Erlang is hot swappable, but what are the other alternatives? That's what I'm saying. In other words, what I'm saying is that I want to understand what does it mean exactly about this property where processes can expect to die. I mean, can you like capture it in some sort of the greater context? I don't know if I'm conveying what I mean well or not. But Emily, do you understand what I mean? Like, I want to, for example, when we say functional programming, or in a functional programming style, when we have a function that has no side effects, then we can say that function that or the whole style of programming is functional programming. And what does it mean, no side effect? Well, it just means a function, the output of a function always depends on the input, and so it's like a math function. Now, when it comes to math, function is very well defined. It's defined by logic very precisely. But it was okay. So you see, so functional programming is very well defined. Well, I mean, in practice, many languages cannot actually have function that has no side effect. But anyway, but the basic idea is very clear, precise. Where you have a programming language where most subroutines, they are functions. They input and output. They depends on solely on calling functions and get their output to achieve what you want to do, the result. That's functional programming. Okay, the idea is pretty clear and precise. So as opposed to, now here's the important. So what is the context? Well, the context is that in most languages, in practice, they are not functions. For example, you call them subroutines. Basically, so you have a block of code that's a unit by itself. You call it a subroutine. It does something. So you can call this subroutine somewhere else to help your program, modular programming, but they are not functions, meaning that, like the word subroutine, it's just a group of a group of different things into one code related, a unit. Then in a programming language, you can use this elsewhere. That's subroutine, which is different from function. A programming is function in a programming language. So that is a context. So you see, a subroutine can just be a subroutine, or it could be you can make it a function, or alternatively, you could also have class-based programming where a class is Okay, we're getting complicated, but anyway, a class is kind of like it's a kind of like a mix of it's kind of like functional programming, but they have internal states. Okay, so anyway, so but what I'm saying is that you have this context. Basically, what we are talking about is that you have a unit of block of code, a unit where it has certain different kind of properties. When it has certain properties, you say it's a function. When it's certain something, you say it's a class or object. When it's something else, you say it's a most general subroutine. So that is the context of the functional programming came from. We could say so that is the context. So back to Erlang. Back to Erlang. So I'm saying, so Erlang has this property of hot swappable or processes can be killed. But you see, but I don't understand, because I haven't really studied Erlang. But my question is, I want to know. So what is the context or the overall context you can put this into, Erlang fit it. So do I make sense? Okay, so I think I rambled too much, and maybe we shut down. 55 minutes. We rambled all over and got to nowhere. it's my rant about programmers. We began with Emac list, then we started to talk about math books because someone is asking me about my bookshelf. Then we rambled about some mathematics. Then I began a rant about, oh, we haven't talked about these free math books. But I did a video, on math. Okay, so go watch my videos. I did a few focus on math and math alone, a couple of them for 1 hour and more. So we talked about math and math books about a bit. Then we talk about the math in programmers' mind. What are programmers thinking? This, by the way, some of these books are great books. Okay, I haven't even started to talk about them. This standard analysis and this tiling, and anyway, I did again. I talked about tilings and patterns for 1 hour twice in the past videos, so you can go watch them. Another book on graph theory and shape of space, that's about the topology of space. Then the real projective plane. Anyway, so many interesting things. So then I talked about math. Then I talked about the false ideas programmers have about math, or the ignorant programmers, their uh, their idolization of mathematics, their abuse of math jargons to promote whatever, promote their whatever. Then I talked, that became a rant. Then I talked about Hamilton, this law of mathematics about this mathematician, about Quaternions. So I talk about all these things without getting into anything substantial, no substance. Okay, so this is Xah Talk Show. Why? You are watching Xah Talk Show of no substance. If you want substance, you go to YouTube. There are tutorials about quaternions. They are respected people who have thousands, millions of followers. Who talk about quaternions, who talk about neural networks. They teach you actually. They try to be brief, and they talk about quantum mechanics and quantum computing. There are videos you can go watch. They talk about introduction, and but here we are talking random of no substance. So let me read the comments, and I think that will be it today. And join Discords, okay? Discord, the wonderful Discord of you people. You people made it. Let's see what else here. So C plus C sharp. So wait, let me get down to the beginning. We begin from the beginning. Okay, so let me read the comments, and that'll be it for today. Okay, so guys, stop posting Arabics. Okay, so because I don't understand, we don't understand, so we don't know if you are talking about shit. Okay, so stop posting Arabic stuff, because also it's actually kind of sensitive thing right now. It's because it's a sensitive thing. Uh, because it gets to, yeah, it's sensitive thing. Quantum computers. Okay, so fractals. Okay, so then what's my thoughts about Erlang? Yeah, so and what are your thoughts about Erlang? Okay, Mr. Yemen. And then some person says, I think you need to ban Yemen. Okay, that's, I think so far so good. Uh, what's up, Nabi? Okay, so okay, he seems normal now. Okay, okay, Mr. Yemen. So Mr. Yemen, join Discord. Okay, you can find the link in my YouTube on my website xali.info. Join Discord and say hello to people. And I think I at least would love to learn Arabics, the basics at least. The Arabic writing system. Uh, and we don't know what language it is. Is it Arabic or Persian? Uh, so I think it's fundamental formula multiplication. Okay, A plus B. Oh, fundamental formula. That is the, okay. Yeah. So that Hamiltonian, the law of mathematics. This Hamiltonian guy, who he's an Irish man, Irish mathematician. He went onto this bridge and he discovered Quaternion multiplication, how it works on this bridge. So I should explain Quaternion, but I don't know the technical depth, but I can explain what it is. Let me try to do it in 1 minute. Okay. So first of all, you have to understand complex numbers. I'm not going to go in depth, but just hand wave a little bit. Okay. First of all, you must understand complex numbers, which is basically a pair of numbers that represent a plane. Okay. Now you might have actually, I did a video on complex numbers. You can watch. Okay, but anyway, complex numbers is a pair of numbers. Well, you might think a complex number has an imaginary number whose square root is -1. Yeah, that's correct, but that's not the way to understand it. Okay, so the way to understand complex numbers is geometry. Complex numbers is a system, a number system, where a number is actually a pair of numbers, just a pair, A, B. Just like when you plot, X, Y in a plane. So you think of it, it's a plane. Okay, it's a geometry. So complex numbers is just a point in the plane. It's a pair of numbers. The first part is the x-axis, the second part is the y-axis. That is a complex number. That's not that's not all. Okay, so we have a point in the plane, but so it's a number with two. It's a number with two numbers. It's a pair of numbers. So what this number mean? A number with two components. So then you define plus addition with this number. A pair, complex number. You define addition by just adding the components. The x component add with the x component. Y adds with y. So that's addition. Very easy to understand. So you have addition. You define addition, and you also define subtraction. Okay, you just minus each component to get a new number. So for example, you have a complex number, which is a pair of numbers. Then you have another complex number, let's say, which is a pair of numbers. So the first one is A1, A2. Okay, let's say the two parts. The second one is B1, B2. So we got two complex numbers. Now you define an operation called addition. You can add them. The way you add them is so the new number will be, the first part will be A1 plus B1. That's the first part. The second part is B1 plus A2 plus B2. So that you got a new number, new complex number. So this way you define addition. But you also define another thing called multiplication. Okay. Now I'm not going to get into the formula, but basically what happens is that if you have one complex number, which is a point in the plane, and you have another complex number, when you multiply them, you got a new complex number. The new number is equivalent. Okay, it's equivalent to how you rotate. You multiply the two numbers angles. Basically, you add, not multiply. You add the two complex numbers angle. That's how you get the new number. That's multiplication. Now you can go to online. You can go to my website. Okay, search for Xah complex number. You will find a written tutorial, which is pretty good. Okay. Then you understand what complex number multiplication mean. So that is the essence. Okay, remember, guys, that is the essence of a complex numbers. Let me try to summarize again. A complex number is a just number with two components, and it's a number in the plane. Then you define addition. Addition is just like vectors. You can define addition by just adding their components. Then the important thing is about the multiplication, where okay, I got distracted, so I think I should stop. So anyway, so the important thing about complex number is the definition of multiplication, because it has a very clear and intuitive geometric meaning. Okay, so that's a definition of complex numbers. That's the thing. Okay, guys, so wait, let me get to the gist of complex numbers. So why is this important? Because it allows, here's the important thing about complex numbers. It allows the rotation of a point in a plane around the origin. Okay, so you have x-axis, y-axis, the center is the origin. Then given any point, oftentimes you want to rotate it around the origin over some degrees. Okay, and the way you do it is that you have to, the formula is like sine cosine something to get a new point. The important, the critical, the most important thing about complex numbers, why is it so important, is that you define a multiplication so that you can explain the rotation in terms of the components, the arithmetics, by just doing arithmetics with the components without using sine and cosine. That is the gist. Okay. Okay, I don't know if I'm doing a good job. I guess you guys are chatting random. So anyway, that's the gist of complex numbers. It allows you to do rotation without involving sine and cosine. It allows you to do rotation by simply manipulating the components of two complex numbers. I mean, two points. That is the heart. Okay, that is the most important thing about complex numbers. Okay, that's what I'm telling you. Rotation. You want to express rotation by just manipulating the components of the points. Now that brings us to the quaternion, because this guy is thinking, because once we have complex numbers, so we have rotation in the plane, it suddenly becomes, rotation now becomes so easy. You have a system for rotations. It becomes so easy. Then mathematicians are thinking, okay, what about 3 dimensions? Because because right now we are in the plane, two dimensions rotation. Okay, you can do with complex numbers, but mathematicians are thinking, so can we come up with a system for points in three dimension? X, y, and z, another axis. So can we come up with a system that such that we can do rotation in three-dimensional space without getting complicated with matrix or sine cosine? We can just by manipulating the components of the points. That's what mathematicians want. That's like a huge desire. Can we make complex numbers extend to three dimensions so that rotation in 3D becomes magical? That is what Hamiltonian came up. Okay, that is what Quaternion he discovered. Okay, Quaternion. That's what it is. So that is why when you hear Quaternions among programmers, everyone is thinking, oh, rotations. Oh, you need in computer graphics you need rotations. That is yeah, that's true. That is why Quaternion arose. But we can get into mathematics. Quaternion is a algebraic system. Okay, it's another number system. Okay, so I have rambled too much, and I missed all the comments. Let's go back again a little bit. So let's. I mean, this is 1 hour and 10 minutes already. Okay, I don't know when I'm gonna finish. So I'm about to. I'm marking a quote from Jaden Smith, where he says, "How can mirrors be real if our eyes aren't real?" Okay. How can our numbers be real if their parts are imaginary? Okay. Forget about the word imaginary. Okay, that's kind of a misnomer because yeah, that's a misleading path. You have imaginary numbers. But complex numbers is a giant, huge chapter in the history of math because for 100 years or so, 50 years or 100 years, mathematicians don't get it. They don't understand. They don't. It's a huge chapter of history of mathematics that is very, very illuminating because it showed you huge, great histories of mathematics and how they become so. Oh God, my God, I'm starting to. If I get into that topic, I'm gonna start another hour because actually I did a video on the history of mathematics, and I covered complex number is one thing I covered because when you study these kind of things, like we talked about today, when you talk about physics, like biology or physics or chemistry, people understand what it is about, or astronomy. They can see. Physics is something you can see, but physics, biology, chemistry is something tangible. When people think about chemistry, they think about lab. Doctors with white coats. Then you have a bunch of bottles with colored liquids in it. That's chemistry, alchemy, chemistry. That's chemistry, right? People. So, or you pour this bottle in and it becomes smoke. Oh my God, magic, chemistry. But when it comes to math, you see, math is abstract. You don't get it. You don't get. You cannot, like, it's not like chemistry or physics or the astronomy. You can see, look at the stars. It's abstract, and when you go down, when you go deep, when you dive deep, it touches your soul, guys. It touches your soul because it's getting into the deep, the higher dimensions where the ghost lives. That's why it touches me. That's why I love math. Okay, so a lot of programming are just people who memorize. Yeah. So and IT practice and immersion are key. And Arabics. I don't even know how Arabics sounds like, or Persian. Uh, yeah. So I have to learn them. Haskell is not about fat, probably purism. Okay. So dropping in to say hello, hello, Alan. So some person says, I think you are antithesis for tribalism. Yes. Still, do you have this tolerance towards people who don't use your bindings recommendations? Of course, all of you, all of you, all of you. Well, most of you. I mean, all the people in my followers, you guys, my followers. We share interest, and so join Discord. So all of you, yeah, and some of you use some of you follow my advice about key binding or use my packages, but not most. Not all of you, many of you guys use Linux and or BSD or talk about them all day or use jargons, which I don't agree. But you see, I am in this community. I'm just voicing my opinions. See, we are in this community, and you have your opinions. I have mine. Uh, so I'll take any OS that's Unix based to make use of knowledge I already have. Yeah, so probably we need some special web fonts or something. We already have that fonts, and so Xah, we are chatting. He is not well versed in English. Okay, great, great, Mr. Yemen. Thank you. Uh, so yeah, so the Magpie says, yeah, be it BSD, Mac, or something Linux flavor, he is fine. They are fine. I just can't do Windows. Okay. The Magpie would say Windows. Okay, so Freddy in Germany says, what do you think will happen when they can finally crack RSS encryption easily using quantum computers and other factorization based on algorithms? Okay, actually, we talked about that yesterday or the day before because we have a mathematician in among us who is on Discord, and his name is Sid. Right now, he lives in Japan, and he's doing research, and his research is post-quantum cryptanalysis, meaning that people have already seen it. The researchers, mathematicians are already, we know that quantum computer is here, and it's gonna wreak havoc on cryptanalysis, right? We know, people know, we already know. Google, these big giant companies, Microsoft, Facebook, Google, they are doing it. They are studying. So they have these researchers. They are studying what's so-called, I forgot what's the term exactly, but post-quantum cryptanalysis, meaning that they are studying what happens with quantum computers. Then what? So they are creating a new system. They are exploring new ways to have what cryptanalysis and things like that systems. So I don't know nothing about that. In fact, that would be interesting to look into. So, but like I said, we each of us knows nothing and can hope to know nothing. You're gonna know nothing. Okay, you're gonna know you are nothing. You know nothing. You're gonna know nothing in your life. Remember that. Okay, remember that first. Then possibly you might know a little something, because all the exponential growth math, computer science, they go beyond what you can, beyond each of us, what, regardless how great you are, mathematicians, they go beyond what you can understand, comprehend. That's my kind of view. Okay. So Alan says some person that is right, but if you are the type of programmers that stays in some IDE environment, this is not troublesome. Are programming doing statistics on Studio? Okay, so I don't know. Are we talking about Erlang or something? Okay, I got shut down. I got a shutdown. Okay, I don't. Alan says, does good work talking about Microsoft pretty objectively good and bad. Oh, great. Adam says, I think is thinks my opinion are objective. Uh, okay, so I'm gonna shut down. Okay, in half a second, in 1 minute, because we talked for too long. So Freddy says, please answer my question about quantum. Yes, we did. Uh, then okay, anything else? Let's scroll down. And coffee. Oh, coffee beans. Are those coffee beans? Sure. Coffee beans and popcorn, tomatoes and popcorn, and guacamole. So some person says we can solve these secrets in the universe and ourselves is hops from subject. Guys, read this paper. What is like to be a bat? Thomas Nigo. And I think I saw Bart somewhere here. Bart, good morning, Bart. Bart, where are you located? Bart, get on Discord so we can talk. If you want to, okay, if you want to. So Bart, greetings. So I'm going to visit Germany, Bart. I'm going to visit Germany. So, if you are around Cologne area, possibly we can set up to meet up. Or if you go to Cologne and meet me up, okay, and you show me around, okay, but so that's a great idea. You show me around Germany, you show me around town. But okay, you still here, right? So let's talk. But we don't have a good way to chat. We have email, but email is problematic. So but uh, so who is calling who a widow, Alan? What? Let's let's stop that or joke or whatnot. Don't go too far. Okay. So some people who it has to be modular. What? Emily. Okay. So easy to find. So what are you doing on Christmas? Yeah. So but I'm going to. I'm not. I'm doing nothing on Christmas, but I'm going to visit Germany. And okay, so let's get in contact. Okay, but say hi or something. If there's a possibility, we might meet up. Okay, but you have my email. We have talked in email before. Yeah. So, but I'm gonna be in Germany for 2 weeks. Okay. Yeah. So do that. So let's get email me. Okay. So or yeah, you don't want to join Discord, but email me. Okay. Or something. Okay. Bye, guys. Bye, guys, and have a great day. It's gonna be February or March. Okay, February or March for 2 weeks. I have not decided yet. I will. Let's get on. Let's talk, and I'll let you know. So that concludes today's talk show. Uh, random nothingness. Bye, guys, and support me by pay. You see that dollar sign? That dollar sign is for me and for you. Okay, put money in my pocket, Patreon or whatever, Amazon gifts. Bye, guys.